Rise and grind. Welcome, my friends. Welcome to our Thursday night time out. And so go ahead and check on in. Let me know how everyone is doing. Let me know where everyone is. Let me know how your day is going. Go ahead and check on in as we get started. Thursday night time out. And so you have earned this moment. You've been rising. You've been grinding. You've been putting in the work. And so here we are, about to have some conversation. We've got a full show prepared for you. And so I want to know where you all are checking in from, because today we're going to be talking about cigar cities. We're going to be talking about the cigars that we buy by the box. Today we're going to have some good conversation. And so what is going on, my good people? We got Cigar Scope in here. And so I really enjoy his content. I would encourage you all to go check him out. We got Philly in the building, Octavius. We got brothers coming in from Texas. And so these are some of the things we're going to be talking about today when we start talking about cigar cities. And so I encourage you right now to get your cigar, to go ahead and light them up. What am I going to be smoking? I've got me. In fact, I'll go ahead and get myself ready. I've got this Cocodrillo, this Warp cigar. I had it before. It was just so funky, almost like annoyingly funky. It just had this, I suppose that's the oakiness. Maybe that's the profile that they were going for. And whatever they were going for, they achieved. Because this thing, I've had two of them, but I had them fresh out the box. And so I've let them sit for a couple weeks at this point. And so it's a short cigar. And so we're going to just have a short time. We're going to do this. This is just a timeout. And so you've been rising, you've been grinding, you've been putting in the work. And so this is just a quick little timeout. Tomorrow we're going to have the full show. Preferably you saw the video that came out today about getting up and going, about just visiting a cigar lounge. And so we're going to be talking a lot about that today. So as I said, I've got me this Cocodrillo by Warp. I really like the Chinchale, but I'm revisiting this Cocodrillo, seeing if it got better, seeing if time got rid of that oakiness. And so let me know what are you all enjoying on such a day? What am I drinking? I'm drinking some water because it's Thursday. We still got one more day, friends. That's why we do this. We're rising, we're grinding, we're getting it in, but it's not Friday just yet. And so for those who work a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, it's not Friday just yet. And so we're going to have a quick cigar, have some conversations, and just enjoy this quick time out. And so my guy, Stogie, Brody, in fact, just a few minutes ago, I went into my humidor and I was taking out, I got my brother a little care package. Got some Cubans coming his way. And I said, you know what? I'm not just going to send him some Cubans. I said, let me send him some other sticks. And so I made him a second bag. And so I'll start checking your mailbox, my friend. Thursday time out. This is for us. This is for people who've been rising and grinding all week long. This is for people who you've been dealing with your kids. You've been dealing with traffic. You've been dealing with your boss, with your coworkers. You just been going through it all week long. And so now here's a time for you to just relax. A couple things about this show. I want you to know there are 3 E's for this show. This show is entertaining. It is entertaining. This is to make you smile. And so even if you see me get all fired up, this is entertainment. When I run into you at your local cigar lounge, I'm going to buy you a drink. We're going to laugh. This is just for entertainment. And so sure, there can be some dramatic moments. Sure, there'll be some funny moments. But this is to entertain you, just to put a smile on your face. You are working way too hard to be so serious all the time. And so we are here to provide you with some entertainment. And while we entertain you, we'll educate you, because a broken clock is right twice a day. And so every now and again, I'm going to say something that actually makes sense. And so we'll provide you some education. But because you're rising and grinding, we do want to encourage you. And so those are our 3 E's for this show: entertainment, encouragement, and education. Now, this show is NBA. What is NBA? No brands allowed. This show is powered by, sponsored by the people. This show is paid for by the people. How do you pay? You pay with your presence. I will never ask you for a dime. You are working. You are rising and grinding. All I want is just kick it with us every now and again. You pay with your presence, and I will never push any products on you. I'll never push any brands on you, because you're dealing with brands and products all day long. You're dealing with the media all day long. And so this is the time for the people, for us, just us. No brands, no companies, just the good people having a good time. What's going on, Cigar Carpenter? What's going on to all my brothers, Brother Terry, and the Sisters of the Leaf? And so we're going to dive into this. I'm having a pretty good day. What did I do today? I probably shouldn't even say it, because the only thing that YouTube likes less than cigars is the thing that I just got done doing. I went to my local range, my local firing range. I like to keep my skills sharp. And so it was such a stress reliever. And so this is a pretty good day for me. Spent some time at the range, got some rounds down range, and now I'm smoking a cigar, hanging out with my friends, having some conversation. And so today has been a pretty good day. You saw the video that came out. It just talked about just getting up and going, getting out there. That's what I do. So I will run into you. I will see you at your local lounge, because I am in a 100 nights a year. I'm in a hotel, Hilton hotel. I'm always on the road. And so that's why for me, the cigar lounge, the cigar community, I'm out there. I'm outside. And so I will run into you. I will run into your cities. And so that's why I wanted you all to just shout out your cities. Let me know where you are. So when I'm in your city, I'll hit up the lounge. I'm in 100 different lounges every year. And so I will see you. So the video that came out today talked about getting up and go. I was in Irvine the other day, and so I just decided to visit this one cigar lounge out in Irvine. Actually, it was out in Fullerton. I went, checked it out, had a really good time. And so today, first topic I want to talk about, and this is why I ask you all to just shout out your cities. Let me know where you're checking in from, because I want to find out what are the best cigar cities. And so I want you to shout out your city. Let me know, do you have a good cigar city? Now, what's going on, Mark? We are just getting started with our conversation. And so again, I'm smoking the Cocodrillo. It's actually smoking a little bit nicer this time. I've let it age, and so you saw that video the other day about time. But I can still that oakiness is trying to creep on in. Maybe this is just an oaky cigar. It's sweet, it's pleasant, finely constructed, but that oakiness, it's peeking its head out. And so if it's just a oaky cigar, then I probably won't be smoking any more of these. But I'm enjoying the Cocodrillo. So we got Cigar Carpenter in Minneapolis. We've got a brother coming in from Chicago. We got New York. Okay, so let's dive into this conversation. The best cigar cities. And let me know what do you think are the best cigar cities? And so I'm seeing some cigar cities being shouted out. Shout out your lounge. Let the people know. That's how we're gonna grow this thing. We gotta have the information. And so when I'm in your city, let me know where to go. Let the community know where to go. I'll let you know my city. I got 5 of them for you. My city, Miami. To me, that's the best cigar city. And so I got a whole video on that, checking out the lounges in Miami. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like being on 8th Street. And so 8th Street, Calle Ocho, that's where when the Cubans came over, they settled there. And when you walk down Calle Ocho, you hear roosters crowing. And so it's a modern city. But you get this feel like you're back in Cuba. You got stores that just go on for miles and miles. These are cigar shops. And so most people it's Little Havana. Most people, you go into your cigar lounge, and the cigar lounge has a little humidor. On 8th Street, you have cigar shops. Picture a 7-Eleven where it's just cigars. And so there's an entire wing of Arturo Fuente, an entire wing of whatever, Rocky Patel. These are cigar shops where you've got 5 employees and you've got this big, huge space, and it's just packed with cigars. And the cigars are sold at MSRP. And so that really impacts me and how I get down with cigars, because when you're from a place where you can walk in and buy boxes of Opus X at MSRP. They're always there. There's no hype. There's no rush to them. They're always there. And yes, as Brother Tone said, coffee and Domino's. And he's not talking about Domino's pizza. When you're on 8th Street, it's just so amazing. Everyone is friendly. I'm from the Caribbean. I grew up in the Bahamas. My family's Jamaican. Being on 8th Street, it gives you that Caribbean vibe. What do I mean by that? Where everyone's friendly. People, they give you the head nod, and then they're ready to talk to you. And then there's a whole park where there's people playing dominoes. And so I'm a big domino player. That's the vibe you get. You get murals on the walls. So check out the video I did showing Miami. You've got the lounges, well, not even the lounges yet. We'll get to the lounges, but these cigar shops. So just picture yourself walking for miles and miles, cigar shops, just packed with cigars. You've got people just rolling cigars. You can get freshly rolled cigars. This is the absolute vibe. If you are trying to, if you enjoy, it's Lil Havana, but when it comes to cigars, I think Miami, we got to say it's the mecca. Now, I've heard Tampa is pretty good, but I know Miami is really good because you've got the shops, and then, yes, you can get some Cuban coffee. You can get those Cuban pastries, and they just go perfectly with your cigar. Whenever I'm there, I always go by Titan de Bronze, and so that's Matt Herrera's shop. I believe they used to roll for Warp and of course Drew Estates and a whole bunch of companies. You can just walk in there, buy some cigars. You'll see the people rolling. And right across the street from Titan de Bronze is my spot. So I'll let you know. It's a spot called Cigars Boutique. Now I'm helping you out. With this. Cigar Boutique. Always is a whole wall of just Opus X, Andalusian Bulls, La Polinas. It's an entire wall. So just boxes and boxes. And so whenever I see hype and people are paying extra, that's why I'm always like, why? You can get these products at MSRP. And by MSRP, I'm talking about Opus X selling for $15, maybe $20 based on the Vitola. I'm talking about an Andalusian Bull. You're paying about $18. And so yes, that has impacted how I look at pricing of cigars, because I'm used to being in places where there's just an abundance of cigars. And so Miami, okay, so you're walking down 8th Street. You got your Domino's, your coffee, your pastries, your cigar shops. You can also go, there's Neptune's. So you can go to 7th Street. Now you got Neptune's. Now you got this big, huge warehouse of cigars. And what's next to Neptune's? Next to Neptune's is another one of my places. One of my most favorite places is a place called Cuban Crafters. And so when I talk about my shop hand rolls, Cuban Crafters, their hand rolls, their house blend is better than most premium cigars. And so usually when I'm smoking unmarked, unbanded. I'm smoking cigars from Cuban Crafters, because whatever they're rolling there is better than most of the premium stuff that people are buying. And so those are some of the spots that I hit up whenever I'm in Miami. And then we can get into the lounges. If you go from 7th Street, and now you can, from 8th Street, you can make your way over to the high-end areas like Brickell. You get the high-end lounges. You've got there's Smoke by the Sea. And so Miami, if you want to have a cigar trip, maybe you want to plan a trip with the fellas, got to check out Miami. To me, that's the best cigar city. I see that Stogie shouted out Alabama, and some people have no lounges where they are. And so Terry's talking about the situation in New York. I spend a lot of time in Spokane, Washington. That's where I go to Gonzaga. And there are some cities where, and because I travel so much, I always got to find out what's the rules. Because in Spokane, Washington, maybe even the rest of the state, you're not allowed to smoke cigars indoors. And so the only place you can smoke a cigar is on Native American land. And so, i.e., in the casino. And so some places are just kind of weird when it comes to cigar smoking. Also in Hawaii, if you've been there, it's not a very cigar-friendly place. And so that's why I want us to have this conversation so we can help each other out, because the way I am, I'm not gonna want to visit a city if I can't find a lounge. And so cigars, it's an important thing for me. If I go on vacation somewhere, I'm checking to make sure that the city and the state has normal cigar rules. And there's some states where they're just, they're not cigar friendly. And so again, continue to let us know what are the cigar cities we ought to be checking out. I've learned that the hardest thing to do in trying to host a show and smoke a cigar is keeping your cigar lit. And so I want to enjoy the cigar. And so I'm going to make sure that I'm puffing on it and enjoying it And I'm going to make sure I'm not having to relight this thing every 5 minutes. And so we've got Miami, an amazing cigar city. Another good one, and in fact, I believe his name is Steve, Epicurean. He went to DC and he's got a whole video. So he does lots of Cuban cigars, and he did DC. And as I was watching that video, I just kept commenting saying, yeah. Another great cigar city is DC. So the whole area, the Maryland, DC, Virginia, but DC's got some spots. What I love about DC has the best places where you can have a cigar and have a good meal. Now that might sound weird. I know I got some friends who like to say, "Hey, let's go to the strip club," and because it's got good dinner, and I'm like, "No, I'm not." First of all, I ain't going to no strip club. Second of all, I'm not eating at the strip club. That's just not. That's not what I do, or I don't think that's very appealing. But some cigar lounges have good restaurants, and DC has, and so I usually go to. There's a spot called 219. That's really good. You got Shelly's Back Room is an amazing spot. Great food, and this is all downtown DC. You've got you've got some pretty good spots. DC has a really good cigar culture. You can easily buy cigars at great prices. The lounges are pretty good. And so if you're ever visiting the capital, if you're ever in the DMV area, I would definitely recommend go down to DC, check out 219, check out Shelly's Back Room. There's a whole bunch of other ones. Lots of diversity, lots of culture. And I say that because lots of women-owned cigar shops out there. In fact, there's one, I can't remember it, but it's owned by, I believe, an Ethiopian woman. It's an amazing spot. And so DC has some pretty good cigar shops. We see someone mention Bangkok, Thailand. I'm pretty sure Thailand would have some good lounges. And sure, if we want to do the international thing, so yes, as I said, I grew up in the Bahamas. The Bahamas has some really good cigar culture. While in the Bahamas, I always go to Grey Cliff. Now, I know we don't have much love for Grey Cliff cigars, but Grey Cliff, the restaurant out in the Bahamas, it's a 5-diamond restaurant. They've got an amazing wine cellar. It's an amazing restaurant, and on site, you've got hand-rolled cigars. And so Grey Cliff, the company, may not be the best cigars, but if you're ever in Nassau, Bahamas, check out Grey Cliff, the restaurant. And then you can see where the cigars are made there. Jamaica's got some pretty good. In fact, I believe Macanudo used to be made in Jamaica. So a lot of tobacco used to come out of Jamaica. And so we talked about Miami, we talked about DC, and we gotta give a shout out. Cigar cities, gotta look at Dallas. And so for those who Cigars International, if you ever go there, it's a vibe. First of all, I mean, it's like walking into a Costco, and it's cigars. It's huge. It's massive. It's bigger than what you could even think it is. Cigars International is the spot. It may not be the best place to get your boutique cigars, but if you're ever in Dallas, in the Fort Worth area, you go there. In fact, as a married man, I don't go there too much. Work hard, play hard, talked about eating the wrong thing out of strip clubs. And so, yeah, it's one of those kind of things where there's some environments where, hey, if you're a single man, then you can, I suppose you ought to just go and do whatever you want to do. But there's some places where I found myself. And so the Cigars International, it turns into a nightclub. And so if you've ever been there, and let me know if you've had that experience too. It turns into a nightclub. There's drinks and DJs, and you see just women scantily dressed. And now for you guys, that might be good, but for me, that's not what I want when I go to a cigar lounge. And so Cigars International, it turns into like a nightclub, and I suppose that's good if that's what you want. Me, I want to chill. When I'm traveling, I'm there to work. I'm there to work, get back to the hotel, smoke a cigar, and come back home. But if you're in the Fort Worth area, hit up Cigars International. Again, smoking this Cocodrillo. Didn't really love it the first time I had it. There's that oakiness that is there, but it's a bit more toned down. Maybe that goes away with time and with age. It is a good cigar. Warp has very finely constructed cigars, and so you can't critique it based on the draw, the construction, and it is a very flavorful cigar. Lots of brown sugar on this. It really is a very long finish, and so it coats your palate, it coats your tongue. It's a bit of a white pepper, but lots of brown sugar. A great cigar. Well, good cigar. And if the oakiness doesn't come in, then it can become a great cigar. But I appreciate it. I'm enjoying it. And so, come on in, brothers. Come on in. Again, this is the Thursday timeout. This is for us. You've been working really hard. And so this is your moment. That's why on these Thursday timeouts, I'm always going to be smoking. I usually smoke a Cuban or a Robusto. And so something quick. And then on our Friday night shows, that's when I'll have a big boy that's out. I might have some spirits to go along with it. But Thursday timeout, it's just a moment for us to just relax, just breathe. And so that's what this show is for. It's for us to breathe, for us to just unwind. This isn't the unwind. This is the timeout. It's a moment for us to just stop. And so I call Thursday, this is pre-weekend. Okay, other cigar cities. So we talked about Miami, talked about DC, talked about Dallas. Now, I live in Southern California. You can call it LA if you wanted to. LA is good for lounges. And so if you're ever in LA, you can hit up some spots. You can hit up Debonair. You can hit up LA Lounge. You can hit up King. LA has lots of good cigar lounges. Another great one is Drobes. And so it has really good lounges. The big problem is that the prices of cigars. And so because of the taxes here and just I don't know why. And so just your basic, your Rocky Patel Edge might cost you $12 in a humidor in LA. And so yeah, your Padrones and your Opus X, they're costing you 30, 40. And so that's the only knock with Los Angeles. Some good lounges. Lounges tend to have either membership or they have bars. And so it's a good lounge city because it's LA. You're going to find lots of lounges. And so if you just Google nearest lounge, you're always going to be surrounded by lots of cigar lounges. But again, the biggest knock is Stogie talked about V-Cut. V-Cut is another good one. V-Cut is a good spot. And yes, let me share this with you. So When you go to the lounges, yes, you will run into some celebrities. They will be there, and they're chilling, they're smoking, they're having a good time. That's the beauty about the cigar lounge. It's the great equalizer. And so yes, you're gonna see the celebrities. You might see the NBA players. They will be hanging out in a lounge. But that doesn't matter in our cigar lounges. We're all equal. We're all of equal footing. And so LA is a good lounge city. This isn't LA, but if you go on north up to San Francisco is a pretty good cigar city. Well, they've got Occidental, which is a great cigar lounge. So if you're ever in Northern California, check out Occidental. But LA has tons of lounges. The biggest knock is the prices. And the last spot, welcome Benny. Welcome everyone. Glad you guys are here, checking this out. Tunes mentions Vegas. So Las Vegas, I think it kind of goes without saying. I believe you got Tap and Ash there. And the good thing about Las Vegas is you can smoke in the casinos. You can smoke in the hotels, really. And so whenever I go to Las Vegas, we don't even... If you go, so Monte Cristo has a lounge there. You're going to be paying a fortune for cigars. And so that's the only knock with Las Vegas. Pretty much anything on the West Coast, cigar prices just tend to go up. I noticed that in my travels. East Coast, if you're in the DMV area, cigar prices tend to be low. Miami, it's low. When you get to the West Coast, the prices tend to shoot up. So Las Vegas, the beauty is you can just smoke. Okay, Las Vegas is a great cigar city for that reason. You can just walk through the casino, you can smoke, you can smoke anywhere in Las Vegas. So it's a great cigar city. They do have lots of good lounges. The price of cigars are going to be very high. Whenever I go, we'll just make a spot in the casino, and the fellows will just take out their cigars and just light them up. But yes, Las Vegas does have some pretty good cigar lounges. But I don't like the prices that you pay, and it's because you're in Las Vegas. But Las Vegas is definitely a smoking friendly city. And the last one that I have for you, welcome, Brother Matt. Oh, Vron mentions Burn. And so we mentioned the different cities. And so we talked about Miami. We talked about DC. Talked about Dallas. Talked about Los Angeles, Las Vegas. We also mentioned Thailand and some other Caribbean places. Burn is just a vibe unto itself. And so these are the Rocky Patel lounges. And as I said earlier, NBA. This is NBA. We're not pushing, no brands allowed. So I'm not here to push any brands on you. And so, but when it comes to the cigar lounge experience, Rocky Patel has got it figured out. The Burns is amazing. And so there's one in Pittsburgh that's great. It's right outside of where the Pirates play and the Steelers play, right in that downtown area. It's a great spot. It's another one of the spots where you can get a good meal. It does turn into more like a nightclub kind of vibe. Humidors there are great. Burns are amazing. There's one in Florida as well that I really enjoy. And then there's and you guys can shout out. Vron is mentioning that there's one in Oklahoma City. And so Rocky Patel Burns. I know Rocky Patel gets a lot of